Oh, dearie me. Um, yeah, exactly as I expected. Hello again to all my Ford Focus subscribers, and I have just got my car back from the body shop, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a show you video before I start cleaning the car up. I literally am currently at the place where I have had all the work carried out, and it has cost me an awful lot of money, more than I thought, and I might just briefly go over why that is. So let's have a look at the car and how disgustingly dirty it is. Right, let's get out. Oh, I am so pleased to have this car back in my hands. The keys are in my hands, the bill has been paid, and we have had a bonnet resprayed. I know it doesn't look like it because it's just decided to rain, but the bonnet has been completely and utterly resprayed to an inch of its life. No swirl marks from now on, proper panther black, but it's this side where we've had all the work done, and it has been properly blended. By the way, the new paintwork has met the old, well, the 1 year old paintwork on this side. I can't tell a difference, and we come to this side now. It is a bit muddy at the moment. We've had some I've just come off the farm track at the moment, but we've had a new wing fitted, all nicely painted and all looking really nice and neat down there, and the sill has been gone over. A nice new looking sill, because we've had a bit more metal than we first imagined. We had some new metal at the front, and as we go towards the back, we have discovered a few things, and this is why my car has cost me, to the prices, and I'm honest on this channel because I think it's good to actually talk about this sort of stuff, £1,300. Now in body shop terms, that's actually nothing. That can be nothing when respraying a car. The original quote was around £1,000, but now it's turned out it's a bit more than that, because of one thing that I've discovered, well, they discovered while actually looking at my car. Well, secondly, we've had all new metal all down here. This has all been cut out all the way to here. Now there's a reason why it was actually, it can go worse on that, it can go far worse than that on a Mark 1. It can spread all the way down here, but all this is brand new on the corner here. Now Mark 1s are known for going at the end of the sill. That's absolutely normal. It's more than I thought though, and this is the reason. This car had a rear end impact at a very young moment in its life. Now I was always under the impression that when I bought this car and I did a check on it, it never came up as a write-off. Officially, I was under the impression that cars would need to be classified if they were injured in an accident and it had gone through the insurers. The truth is, I'm now convinced that it did go through the insurers, and my body man confirms that it would have gone through the insurance, but it wouldn't have been classified as a cat. It would have been classified as more than a cat C, because we're talking about structural damage at the back. This rear end has all been done, all the reinforced panel, it was all done from Ford. And guess what else was brand new, which I otherwise guessed might not have been? Oh yes, this entire quarter panel has been completely and utterly replaced. It's literally been replaced, the whole thing. It's been welded on the back here, down here, and it's been welded down the bottom here. I believe it's been welded as far as this point, and it goes up to about here and then back to there. I think the whole thing, I don't think it goes, I don't think it ended here. I think it was the whole panel, literally the whole quarter panel, not a repair section that Ford can sell you, the whole damn quarter panel. This was definitely done through the insurance, because the cost of having that done, it would have, wow, it would have been extortionate. We're talking thousands of pounds worth of work. So this car had one heck of an accident in its young life, but it wouldn't have been done. It's been done to a very high standard, I'm being told. But there's one thing they didn't do. They did not seal it at the bottom here. So we've had a bit of new metal around here. There was a bit of there was a bit of a hole down here. Now my body man reckons that it wasn't sealed correctly, where the end of the sill sort of where the quarter panel joins on to the bottom of the sill, and that seal had allowed water to get into the sill, and that's why we've had about this section replaced at the back. So more metal was needed. There was a bit of corrosion around here that was looked at, but only minor stuff that he thought that could go through in a few years. So it's been done, new metal, it's been cut out. So there was more work, and the only reason they discovered that this quarter panel had been replaced is not just the telltale sign on the inside, which I suspected but I couldn't prove, but also when they put the primer down on this panel, they went back to the old primer. Now they assumed that this was factory. I assumed that this was factory. They took that whole old nasty paint back off, went down to a little bit of the metal in places. They did a bit of filling and sanding work in a few different areas. There was a crease here, they've sorted that out. I'd say the sill has no dents at all now. They've pulled them out, it's all nice and straight, how it would have left from the factory. But when they put the primer down, just to cover a few areas, I think there was some etch primer they put down, it reacted really badly. It literally been about 10 minutes, it was cracking all over the place. They had some real problems, and they come to the conclusion they had to go back to bare metal. So this entire quarter panel has been taken back to bare metal. That sill also, they went back to bare metal, just because it's best to do a proper job on this. And the reason that this sill lip is bent inwards is because of the way they sealed the quarter panel to the actual underside of the wheel arch. Now for that reason the body shop couldn't pull that and straighten it because of the way it's sealed, but they were happy with the way it's sealed up over time. And to be fair, this car is going to be seldomly used in this type of weather. It's gone nice now, but yeah, that is why they had, well, the bill was much higher because they had to contend with crappy lacquer, crappy primer as well. I think what they used was in the profession, I can't remember the technical word he used now, but it's pretty shocking paint, put it that way, and that's the reason that panel looks so rubbish. They did all the work, they welded it all in. It would have been welded all the way into this section of the door panels, and I couldn't tell that it had been welded in. They did it really well, but then they did all the sealing work. They may have missed a bit of sealer, which is why we've had a bit of an issue at the back, but then they put those shocking paint on it. It's like they did the best, they did the most work, and then they cheapened out towards the end. Unbelievable. So really, if you think you know your car, and I thought I knew this car, you don't know your car. And cars have a very big habit of springing up surprises time and time again. But now the mystery has been solved in some respects. I now can confirm that this car has had all this done. It would have had new quarter panel, new reinforcer, new bumper, new tailgate. It would have everything, and that mirror has also been replaced with a genuine one. The one on the car was an aftermarket one with matte black plastic. It didn't suit, and my god, this car is absolutely filthy. The inside of this car is totally and utterly filthy. There's just dust everywhere. The dashboard is covered in dust. It's a lot. He's washed it a few times and it still keeps coming off. So I'm going to have to take this back home and hose it off tonight, because this is not fun. I'm definitely going to have to give this an exterior hose down before I put it in the garage. But yeah, this is the most mud that my car will ever see again. It's always a lovely trip out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to try and give the location away because of the nature of being in the trade of having a body shop, but I think we can honestly say that I've never seen that sill look as good before. It's nice to see the bottom of this wing look really nice, or a bit muddy as well. So yeah, this is This is 50 Shades of Panther Black, no longer 50 Shades of Panther Black. Long term, I may have the roof looked at, but it's very minor. I really may not bother with that at all. The front bumper, I think, is salvageable as it is. My body man has suggested he can actually paint this up as it is. We've got a bit of cracking at the end, but the truth is I think that can be resuscitated, and I would like it to be, because it's an original part of the car. I believe it's the original front bumper. The rear bumper is not the original bumper. It's the second bumper in this car's life, and I just cannot deal with looking at shocking great holes where, yeah, some cheapy aftermarket parking sensors were fitted that I cut out. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave this here. I'm just going to show you in the car just before I go. It's just dusty. I know it doesn't look it, but it's just, there's just dust on everything. Oh God. Right, we can see down here. I did say it was waxy down here, and I suspect they have put wax down in here. But yeah, this is just disgusting. I cleaned all this before I took it in the body shop. I was like wondering why. Oh bloody hell, yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that. But yeah, so it's quite fascinating actually. It is a genuine quarter panel, because this is the original sort of soundproofing on the quarter panel, as I said to you before. But oh geez, it's gonna be fun getting this in. So all in all, I'm gonna leave this here. I would like this car to be a rolling example and a shining example in the world of MK1 Focuses, and I think she is. It's been over 10 years since I bought this car, a car that has driven me everywhere and has wanted for nothing for many years. And then after a few years ago, she did need a lot of work, and I knew that I just had to put the work in, because she'd given me so much, and I'm now giving the car everything. And I have absolutely no regrets over making my bank account pretty empty at the moment. If you do want to find me, I will be down at Lidl's in the bread and water section for the next couple of months. So I'm sorry for all the subscribers who are expecting or maybe hoping for a new car on the channel, a third car, but I'd rather spend money on the cars that I've got at the moment and then worry about things later on. I'm not a typical YouTuber, not at all. I'm doing things my way and a very different way, and I think this old OJ that as a YouTuber you are somehow inclined and you are forced to buy lots of cars for content. I think that's very expensive and potentially not a good financial choice. So I'm sticking with the two cars that I've got for now, and I'll be creating content in a very innovative way by not owning cars, but by working on other people's cars, and there's some spoilers for the future. Anyway, as we head towards 1,000 subs, 50 Shades of Panther Black is looking not 50 Shades of Panther Black, which is probably what she's going to be called soon. But anyway, from usually fixing and tinkering, goodbye. But this is usually fixing and tinkering. We don't end here. This needs to be cleaned desperately. Feels like Fireman Sam. Oh la la. When you clean a car with a hose, over 70% of the time you should be aiming the hose underneath the car. 20-30% should be on the top. That's my advice. Oh, that took about 15-20 minutes. And just to end this video here, just a little top tip, I've just put the hose down these little holes just to make sure that we clean out the bottom of the doors and that quarter panel of any remaining dust, paint dust. And I'd like to say now, because of all the work on the sill, all these drain holes in the sill, there's just some little small drain holes, just so that if any water does get into the actual inner sill area, it can drain out. Usually they're blocked. Look at yours and check that they're not blocked. I absolutely implore you. Yeah, that is very, very neat indeed. I am going to have to wax this car, but all in a day's work. There has been just a little bit of new metal just here as well, and it's all nice and solid. Apparently somebody tried to plate that up in the past. I presume that was when this car had a new quarter panel. Anyway, now I'm going to end this video here. I'm just going to get on with drying it up and putting a ceramic glaze, a wax, a spray wax onto the new painted panels on this side, just to give it that protection it needs. And I'm going to catch back with you in another episode. Potentially it may be a live one. See you very soon. What am I going to find in here? Oh dearie me. Yeah, exactly as I expected. Paint, dust, absolutely frigging everywhere. This is what it looked like when I first bought the car. Oh well, another cleaning session.